Yeah.
Okay,
I
want to welcome everybody to our competition, our critique night. It's November the 11th of 2021. And it's we have a few new faces here tonight. Let's see, we've got let's see. We have Tom Hickey. Yeah, he's muted, but he actually shared our little event with us when we went to the auto museum. Hopefully he got some shots there that he could use. Yep. And we've got Sherry, who's a friend of Catherine's. And so she's joining us tonight to check us out. And then we have Rick, who is also checking us out tonight for the first time. So we want to welcome everybody here, and we want to welcome Catherine back. We haven't seen Catherine in a while. And I'm glad she's back online with us again. And I think that's everybody tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. It's our last Zoom meeting of the year. And I'm going to make a few announcements here. We have a lot of images to get through tonight. So I'm going to try to keep things quick here. Just FYI, Jim is not here tonight. He is on his way back from North Georgia. He finished up his workshop up there in the waterfall land this morning. So he is actually driving back right now. We didn't want to try to get him on here and have, if he's in, places where there's no connection for his phone, then it was just make it too difficult. So he will not be here tonight, but hopefully we'll see him at the next meeting at our Christmas party. The new assignments for 2022 have been picked by the board of directors, and we will have those on the website sometime in December. So, and I'll send out an email to the Google group to everybody, so that once they're set up, you can go ahead and take a look at them. Technical nights we will be setting up kind of around some of them will be in a month or two before some of the assignments, so that we can get some pre-education for some of the stuff that we are asking for competition. And some of them will be our speakers like we've had in the past, working on a few of those right now. I don't want to mention anybody because I haven't got any confirmations from anybody yet. But we have set January's technical night, and that will be masking in Lightroom and Photoshop, and Robert's going to be handling that. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Lightroom and Photoshop, ACR and Photoshop have made a huge change in the last few weeks, and it is a game changer. And so you can do masking in Lightroom now and Adobe Camera Raw, which you could not be doing before. So Robert's going to talk about that, and as well as masking in Photoshop. So be gathering your questions or trying out Lightroom or ACR and seeing what's working for you and what's not, and have questions for him for that session in January. The annual awards, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick here. And I'm going to bring up. This is, can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So our annual Christmas party is, the announcement is now on the website. It's on Sunday, December the 12th, and it's going to be from 1 until 4 right here. And if you please go out to the website and read through all of this so you know what's going on. And down at the bottom here, right here is the sign up. This one right here is the sign up sheet for the food and drinks. This one is a spreadsheet that shows where what everybody else has already signed up to bring, but it doesn't seem to be working properly. I'm going to have Jim take a look at it when he gets back, because this is something he set up and it's not working for anybody other than officers. So he's got to open up the access to it to everybody, and he created it, so he has to do that. So hopefully that'll be fixed this weekend. But the form, if you just click on this form, it takes you right into where'd it go? Oh, it's opening up in another. It's opening up in another tab. It should anyway. Oh, here we go. And this is the form. We need your name and then what food and drink you're going to bring. So that's right there at that thing. Here's a map to, it's at Felipe Park over in Safety Harbor. Same place we had it last year. And it's also where we had the, it's in the same pavilion, number 8 as well that we had last year. Any questions about the party?
Lynn, I just have some feedback because it says sign up form below for food and drinks with an underline. That kind of implies that it's a link and it's really not, and that you have to go down and click on the link below. It's kind of confusing based on.
All right, I'll take the underlines off. And anything else? We're going to have a silent auction. We're getting a bunch of donations for that, which I want to thank everybody who's offered. We need donations, but we also need you guys to bid on the items when we set them up. It's going to be a silent auction, so there'll be sheets for each item, and you can just put whatever bid on there that you want to go, and then you have to go back and check and see if anybody's outbid you, et cetera, et cetera. We also have the push pin story display, which we used to push pin. We used to put push pins and then put a little clip on each photo and hang it up on the wall in the studio. And since we're not going to be in the studio, we now have like a clothesline that we're using clothespins, and we're putting the pictures on the clothesline. So you need to put the picture on it needs to be at least 8 by 10 or bigger. It needs to be on either foam core or matted so that it's rigid so that we can see it when it's hanging up. And this is not a competition. This is a chance for you to get up and talk about your image. We never get to do that. Occasionally, Robert or Jim may ask you about what you were trying to do or what's the story behind the image, but most of the time we don't. So this is an opportunity to bring an image that we have not seen before and bring an image that has a story behind it. And it can be, any kind of story you want, but it needs to have a story, and you need to, you're going to have to get up there and talk to us for a few minutes in person. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great stories. We've heard a lot of great stories in the years past. So we have the silent auction. Then we also have we have a raffle every year where we'll give you a ticket when you first get there, and then we draw the tickets in, we give away the prizes. And then last but not least, we have our annual awards. So based on the competitions, if you're qualified for it in the rules, everything's in the rules. If you want to check on the rules there, or if you have any questions, let me know via email and I'll answer your questions. But we will not announce who is the winner, and we will not fill in the results for this month until after the party. So we want the winners to be a surprise. So just FYI, you will not see the results for tonight's competition in the results sheet on the other page. Okay. Last couple of things I wanted to just go over here. On our second page, you don't forget, we've been getting some donations from everybody. We really, really appreciate that. That's going to help pay for the speakers and any education stuff that we have going for the next year or so. So keep on sending those donations, and you just click on this and it takes you right to PayPal, and you can put whatever amount you want in there. The important links here are where the competition assignments will be, and then obviously the competition results. And I've moved the membership information up a little bit of the page so it's a little more prominent. Right here is where you pay your dues. And guys, it's the end of the year, so it's time to pay your renewal. So it's going to be $40. Click on here. There is that form that needs to be filled out. So please at least fill out your name and take a look and see if anything has changed from last year. And then you have to go back, you submit the form, and then you go down at the bottom and it says buy, and that's where you pay your dues. So filling out the form doesn't pay for anything or do anything other than give us some information. You've got to go in and re-click on the buy button. And let me show you right here what it looks like. Here's the form that needs to be filled out. And then you go down here, it says buy now. That's what you want to click on to pay your dues. Okay. All right, and anything else? Oh, and if you're not following the website, click on this. I'm following it. So what happens is whenever I make a change or anybody makes a change to the website, you automatically get an email with that change in it. So if you're not following, you're not going to get that. unless we send that out via email, which we do sometimes, but not always. So that's a good thing to click on here. And all it does is just ask for your email address. Any other information here is pretty much where we just moved irrelevant. Oh, the one last thing is Christmas is coming up. Don't forget to go, if you click on this link right here, this will take you to our Zazzle page, which some of you folks that are new may have not have seen this, but we have a logo page. And right now, everybody, they have 20% off for Black Friday on the items that are, you know, the lesser price items. And then there's this one down here actually is 40%. This one, some of the things have 20, some of them have 40% off. So now is a great time to buy anything with our logo on it. So we've got a bunch of different stuff here that you can purchase. I think that's pretty much it. Robert, do you have any stuff to share with us?
No, not at this time.
Okay, I just want, we did have the question about photo camp, and we will be putting up all that information after the Christmas party. So there's no confusion about what's going on, the sign up sheets and all that stuff. So yeah, the photo camp is on February the 4th through the 6th at Rainbow Springs State Park. And we've done this for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And it's a lot of fun. Some people camp, some people like I just come in for the day on Saturday, and we have a photo walk. We usually have, if the weather's okay, we have a night photography shoot where we go out and try to find the Milky Way, which is not easy, but we do try it, at least if we have an open area to shoot from. And it's just a lot of good fun, a lot of good food, and the club furnishes lunch on Saturday. And then everybody brings food that we all kind of share on Saturday night. And we cook it over the fire and then grills and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, but we'll have a lot more information about that later on in the first part of, we'll talk about it at the party. And then we'll again go over everything in January as well. So
Lynn, what were those dates again? I'm sorry.
February 4th through 6th.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from anyone? All right, well, let's go ahead and get started on the competition stuff. I'm going to share my screen again.
Jim been advised on how to do this?
Yeah, he's going to send me, he's already sent me a test text, so we're good.
Okay.
Oops. All right. Okay, so can you see my light? Can you see my Lightroom?
Money.
I'm sorry, say again?
Jim's been collecting money from everybody.
Oh, yes. We're judging. Let's put this up here. All right. Okay. Can you see my Lightroom?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me get my scoring sheet up here. All right. I have to get situated here so I can see everything on 3 different screens. All right. So, and just FYI, because Jim was not available, I was the I prejudged these along with Robert. So he and I will be doing along with Jim McWilliams if he wants to, doing the critiques tonight. So just FYI. All right, our first one here is Red Bull Formula One. Jim, you ready? Jim McWilliam? He's ready. Okay. All right, why is this not working? Okay, the score is 24. That's an award for Steve Zimick. Next one is More Power. The score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. Next one is 1934 Ford school bus. – Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. The next one is Cool Blue Bike and its owner, Altered Reality. Oops, hold on a second. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim McWilliam. Next one is Very Old and Very Fast. Is that a description of Robert? That score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim McWilliam. Next one is Jag. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee Brand. Next one is No Time to Die. Score is 23. That's an award for Caesar Sharper. Next one is Side Mirror. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee. Next one is The Triplets. Score is 23. That's an award for Diana. Next one is Going Down the Drag Strip. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one is A Great Year for Trucks. This is Altered Reality. Score is 23. That's an award for Catherine.
That's a very good year.
Yeah. Was that when you were born?
Yes,
Next one is Angry Birdmobile. Yeah, Angry Birdmobile. Score is 23. That's an award for Dave Lockwood. Next one is The Reveal. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one is turbo powered 32 Ford Coupe. Score is 24. That's an award for Jack Maniscalco. Next one is Midnight Blue. This is Altered Reality. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Catherine. Old Chevrolet. Score is 23. That's an award for Lewin. Next one is Macaroni Model T. Score is 22. That's an award for Barry. Next one is Happy on Water Rider. Score is 21. That's an honorable mention for Fong. Next one is Voisin Phoenix. Score is 23. That's an award for myself. Next one is Bronco Rosso. Score is 22. That's an award for Alan. Next one is the old truck. Score is 23. That's an award for Karen. Next one is Second Gear. Score is 23. That's an award for Karen. Next one is The Long Haul. Score is 22. That's an award for Alan. Next one is Road Tour. Score is 22. That is an honorable mention for Brian. This thing is not working. Next one is my car. The score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Brian. Let's see here. And the last one in assigned is this wheel is a nice mirror. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee Wynn. Okay, let's move over to assigned. And for those folks that are new, what we do is we go through both the assigned and the general and do the judging, and then we do the critiques afterwards. So that's, we kind of speed through this judging part so that we have plenty of time for critiques. Okay, first one in general. This is Milo. Score is 23. That's an award for Jim Hagan. Next one is Real Fast and Pretty Furious. Score is 23. That's an award for Jim McWilliam. Next one is Fun on the Sea. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Fong. Next one is Happy Family at My Backyard. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Fong. Next one is Roseate Spoonbill, Altered Reality. Score is 23. That's an award for Garrett. Next one is Brown Pelican. Score is 23. That's an award for Steve Zimick. Next one is Hawk with Black Racer. If you don't like snakes, don't look close. Score is 24. That's an award for Steve. Next one is Formula One Racer. Score is 23. That's an award for Caesar. Next one is Milky Way with Bright Jupiter. Score is 24. That's an award for Jack. Next one is Chicago at Dusk. Score is 23. That's an award for Dave. Next one is Timeless Cass Street Bridge. So 20, excuse me, the score is 23. That's an award for Barry. Next one is Death Valley and Black and White. Score is 23. That's an award for Diana. Next one is Fall in Acadia National Park. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee. Next one is Nature's Abstract. Score is 23. That's an award for myself. Next one is Namibia Colors and Shapes. Score is 23. It's an award for Diana. Next one is Bass Harbor Lighthouse. Score is 23. That's an award for Jack. Next one is Morning at the Coast. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee Win. Next one is High Tide Pier Sunrise. Score is 23. That's an award for Sylvia. Next one is Fluttering. This is Altered Reality. Score is 23. That's an award for myself. Next one is 4 a.m. Blue Ridge Parkway. Score is 23. That's an award for Brian. Next one is Eastern Bluebird. Score is 23. That's an award for Caesar. And the last one is Moon over City Hall. Score is 22. That's an award for Barry. Sorry, lost my place. And that's it, guys. Let's take a 5-minute break and we'll start the critiques. Everybody be back here at 7:47.
Hey, Lynn,
Yeah.
can you explain once again this like why was your butterfly an altered reality? I love that shot.
Because it's not, basically I took it into like, I think it was topaz and made it look like a painting. So it's altered reality.
Okay, and then there was,
if it's not a, if the picture is obviously not a reality, some will be altered reality and it's hard to tell that they've been altered. But it's kind of up to each individual photographer to decide whether. Jim's definition is if we can't tell it's been altered, then you shouldn't make it. You should tell say it's altered reality.
so that pelican, that not pelican, sorry, that spoonbill. Was it a spoonbill?
Yeah, it was a spoonbill. Yeah,
whatever the
yeah. That was Garrett's choice to do that. He probably could have gotten away with not making it altered reality.
Yeah, because I mean that was a beautiful shot, and
yeah.
I couldn't figure out why that was altered. Okay.
He made a lot of changes to the background, evidently,
but isn't that legal?
Yeah, it's legal. It's very legal. But like Jim says, if you can't tell that it's been altered, then don't worry about it. It's only if it's it's obvious that it's altered. Like Catherine's 2 images, those were composites. So I believe both of them were composites. So those are obviously, and mine was I made it look like a painting.
Correct.
So that's obviously altered. So we're kind of leaving it up to you, but your judges, especially if it's Jim and Robert, are going to figure out usually if it's altered or not, one way or another.
So if you put a black background on a pink bird or a white bird, is that, I'm not a white background, but if you just make the background go black, that's not
a lot of times we do that. That's part of the, we're not like a lot of competitions, where a lot of competitions don't let you do any kind of manipulation at all. We're here to do art. We're not here to document the stuff that's in your pictures. So we allow we have a lot of leeway as to what you can do to manipulate your picture to get it to where you want. But if it's obviously it's been manipulated a lot, or it's a composite, or it's been changed into something that looks like a painting or something like that, yes, that's altered reality. So we have a very flexible way of, because of the fact that we're looking at these as art. I know, Robert, if you want to put your 2 cents in there, I'd appreciate it. He's probably off to the restroom.
Yeah. All right, well, cool. And so do you get dinged if you make it an altered reality, or does it get judged in an altered reality?
If you don't state that it's an altered reality when it's obviously one.
Yeah, no, I got nailed for that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
So put your hands up to the cross if you don't state something that's obvious.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can I put it up to a Jewish star?
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we have a very liberal way of looking at at everything because we're trying to, make this more of an art than a like we're not into documenting stuff, we're into creating art.
Right.
And with art, you have a very broad ability to do things that if you're documenting something, you have to leave it exactly as you see it.
Got it.
So,
Have you been out to Fort DeSoto yet, Lynn?
not yet. No, I've been to Circle B and to Mayak. I haven't been to Fort DeSoto lately yet. So I need
What's
to go
going
out.
on
I
in-
know the
Is
white
Circle
pelicans
B,
are out
is
there.
that open yet? That
Circle
path?
B? No, Emma, Marsh Rabbit Run is still closed. It probably will be closed for probably a while. But the
Okay.
rest of it's open and there's still a lot of stuff being seen out there. The problem is, we mentioned this earlier, I think it was before you came on, is that the bobcat kittens have caused a crazy influx of people.
Oh.
So it's been super busy there. Although Sherry said she was there on Tuesday and it wasn't too bad.
What wildcat kittens? What am I missing?
Bobcat kittens.
Oh my
Kittens.
God, you're kidding. Oh, wow. Have you seen them?
No, but plenty of people have.
Wow.
You look at
That-
the Circle B pages on Facebook, they're at least not probably the last couple of days, but a few days ago, there were quite a few pictures of them because they were climbing
Wow.
up in the trees. They were doing all kinds of stuff. So
Oh my, how awesome. Thanks.
you're welcome.
Lynn, are we having a directors meeting in December?
No,
Oh, we're not. Okay.
the only thing in December is the Christmas party. That's it. It.
Hey, Rick Ringo, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hey, John, they said they may have dropped a bracelet in here. What? See it?
Yep, I was calling on Rick Ringo.
Yeah, you're muted, Rick. You're muted. Just hit your space bar. No, not working.
Down in the lower left-hand corner, there is a microphone. It's got a red bar going through it. Click on the red bar in the lower left-hand corner.
There he is. There he is. Now we got him.
There we go. I'm new to the area. We've just moved here from Illinois. I was not active in the camera clubs there. They were very rigid in their approach, and I really just didn't feel comfortable with what they were doing. And they had probably 60 camera clubs in the Chicago area.
Wow.
So it was very active and a very large group, but they had very strict rules, and you had to cue the line, and it just was not really terribly comfortable. I like your more artistic approach, where basically you could do what you like, within reasonable bounds, as long as you admit that what you've done. So, I kind of like that. That has more appeal to me, because my approach is that I see things in the camera, but that's not necessarily the way I want to express myself. And I think that's what you're doing here, is showing what you want it to be, as opposed to a documentary approach of what it is. And that's more comfortable. That's the way I like it.
So how did you hear about us again?
I just went on the net, because I just know any major metropolitan area that we were in would have a camera club. So I just went on the net and did some searching and discovered you guys.
Okay.
Well, and Dave Lockwood is in the Chicago area part of the year too. So he's Dave, are you in Chicago now, aren't you?
Yeah, I just got up here yesterday. Saw
Okay.
snowflakes as I drove in.
Yeah.
My condolences.
And Sherry Kalzinski, how did I do? I'm a
You did
whiz.
great.
Let's tell us a little bit about the photography you do.
Well, I moved down here about 2 years ago and got involved. I live in Sun City Center, so we have a photo club here. And then I met Catherine, so I got into the Lakewood photo club. And then she was telling me about your club, so I may be joining your club as well.
Okay. Well,
So-
What did Catherine tell you about this club?
Watch out for Robert. So watch out for Robert.
Didn't we go
to that Sun City Club, Robert? Didn't we go down there?
Yeah, we
for a
went there.
visit?
Yes, we did
Yeah.
visit that club.
Yeah, they've got nice equipment down there, I
Yeah,
remember.
we have a nice lab in there, so,
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
yeah. But the
Okay.
club lacks a lot of education and like fun things to do, so.
We have lots of education and fun things to do.
yeah.
yeah.
So
Seems
what
like
kind of
we're more
photography, what type of photography do you do, Sherry?
Mostly nature, birds, and I want to get a macro lens and do more flowers, and I like to do creative things, so I'm more on the creative end.
We're into that too as well. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And now it's Tom's turn. Tell us what kind of photography you do.
Stop eating for a minute.
I like nature photography. So lots of like recently my wife and I did a trip to Alaska. We did a bunch of bears, and I also like underwater photography. So I've got an underwater rig, and other than that, I like to take pictures of like when I travel as like a way to kind of capture memories. And so I just try and document. I like documentary type stuff.
Awesome, awesome. I seem to have
Good
lost.
luck.
See some of your underwater stuff sometime.
Okay,
I didn't have
All
any
right.
underwater cars.
yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started with the,
Before you do that, is Tom local?
Yeah, I'm in South Tampa.
Oh, excuse me.
I just moved here like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, excuse me. You're in South Tampa. Go for it.
Robert, be nice.
He does.
Okay, just saying.
Don't
South
scare
Tampa.
away the new people.
Am I on the wrong side of Gandhi or something?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
He's
Absolutely
just
not.
jealous.
He's just
No,
jealous.
he's afraid if he ever goes to visit, he's gonna have to pay the cover charge. That's
Yeah, that's a good area.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the routines because we got a lot of stuff to get through here. Okay,
Hey,
who's
hold
going?
on 2 seconds. Let me.
Okay.
I muted you, Diana. Okay, let's get going here.
All right.
Let me do something else with this. I'm gonna set it right here. Okay. All right. Let's start with this one here. This off.
Whose shot is this?
This is Steve Zimmix, I believe.
Steve on board tonight?
Haven't seen him.
Okay. Steve did a wonderful job here.
yeah.
I ain't mad at him at all as far as taking the background down enough so that the car stands out. This is almost a showroom type of deal here. So,
Which is always very difficult with car shows.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I love how he got he's got consistent focus all the way through it. It looks like might get a little soft right in the back tire there, but
yeah, it's not an ad shot, but it's certainly an impressive,
yeah.
impactful shot. So yeah, he's good. Light's good. Exposure's good. Composition's good. We're good.
Oh, good for you. Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Let me ask, is this, let's see. This is, Jim, this is yours.
Yeah, Jim
Yes, it
Hagan.
is. Yes.
Did you use a flash on this?
No, I did not.
You did not.
No, this is just a bright room. It was overhead lights.
Okay, all right. It's a bright room. I'll grant you that. But I need these values to come down. That means that if it's a bright room, that means your exposure was overexposed. And I would give you, yes, now we're talking. So you're overexposed by about greater than a half a stop. When you have bright silver like that, you have to underexpose it slightly.
And you can see here that you actually have blown out the whites and on the top here and on the side so much that they're not even showing up on the histogram. So there's no data in these spots at all. So it's, yeah, it's very overexposed.
So
I don't know what he could do about it, but I find the partial windshield wiper to be quite a distraction.
Right there, yeah, you can't, there's nothing, I mean, you'd have to chop it off like.
Yeah.
That.
yeah,
Maybe.
Okay, I can see the flaws on this thing. I thought it was a cool motor though.
Yeah, it's a really
Oh, yeah.
interesting motor, and
Very nice,
it's,
though.
you know, it's really cool because it's, you know, most of them, it depends on the show you go to. Sometimes they have clean engines and sometimes they don't. I like the ones that have the clean engines.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
now, who owns this shot?
Same guy.
Same guy.
as well.
Okay, tell me why this bottom base is floating.
I'm sorry, what?
Why is the bottom base floating? Why are the tires floating?
Yeah, it looks like it's not on the floor.
Oh, I see. Well, I just put a black background on it.
You put a black background on the shot and shot it?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You know, it's another one of those brain damage things. I didn't think about that, but yeah.
What is
All
that?
right.
What is that you can see through the rear window though?
That's just a reflection of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this thing was shot at f3.5, so I was like looking at, you know, it's not very in focus. You know, old school is in focus, and I'm not sure why these numbers on the sides are in focus because they're further back than old school, but it's kind of weird the way this thing is partially in focus and partially not in focus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's
Composite?
f.3. That's kind of, you know.
Wait a minute, ISO 4000 f3. What did you shoot this with?
Probably a D4.
Okay.
No, the
Did
D4 can handle the ISO of 4000. That's not a problem.
Yeah, no, the 4000 is not the problem.
Yeah.
I was wondering, did you do any transformation to straighten this up?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you do any transformation in post-process to straighten this up?
No, actually, the only thing that I did to this thing was take a yellow rope out of the front of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious about that, how that focus starts in one area and then it still floats to the other.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like it's in focus up front and then it gets dull, it gets out of focus here and out of focus here, but then it's focusing, it's back in focus again back here is really strange.
Yeah.
But anyway.
The rope went right underneath those yellow lights.
Mhm.
And pretty much that was, and I put a black background on it because all the other cars around it were a distraction.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the main issue with shooting at a shop, at a museum or at a car show is you've got always got all stuff in the background to deal with.
Yes, sir. This is the Tallahassee Auto Museum.
Sorry.
Now, not to belabor this, but just for the sake of argument, give me a crop on this just down to that front grill, those lights, and take the school bus out of the top because it's somewhere in there, and come up from the bottom in that portion. Let me see what we get when we get somewhere around in there. I think you could have made something out of this.
Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of it's out of focus, though. It would have to be.
I mean,
as
far as when he shot it, he could have made something out of this.
Yeah.
This is before my time.
And by the way, as always, anybody that sees something that agrees or disagrees or challenges, go ahead. Please make sure you chime in.
Speak up, guys. Anybody, just unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Lynn, can you go back to that red car for a second? I was muted and I had all sorts of. So when you shoot something like that with so much silver, I heard that you have to underexpose it.
Right.
But what else could you do to keep it from blowing out?
Well, that is checking your histogram.
Yeah, check your histogram.
Because this is also at 3.5.
Yeah, it's see this histogram. I mean, it's totally blown out over here. But even when I pull it back, you see it's no longer, the histogram no longer has white on the side, but there's these white spots. That means there's no data at all. It's totally it's totally fried.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
yep.
Oh, I know what's going on. This is a 20mm lens, right? Yeah,
Oh, this is a lot. Yeah, I don't remember.
it says 20mm lens.
Hi, Jim, how to put a black background on your school car? Yeah, how to put the black background?
I'm sorry, what?
She wants to know how you put the black background in there.
How to put it?
And all I did was, I captured I selected the bus and then put a black layer underneath it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it looks like it's floating.
I'll make sure that maybe it was the title. I should have said Bus in Space.
There you go.
Hey.
See?
There you go.
Yeah, you got to title it right, and then it doesn't, and then we understand what's going on. See? All right,
Yeah,
next
the
So to
one.
keep
Floating
it from
bus.
floating, would you put like a little white area underneath it?
Well,
Little
he could have,
like shadows.
he could have, with a layer, he could have made the lower part of it less opaque, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Then you could see the floor.
okay.
This one, beautiful bike.
I love it. I submitted this as altered reality because, as it's been mentioned, there was an awful lot of clutter in the background. And I just cloned it out, and I just tried to get rid of it, so I had just the bike and the guy that owns it.
So did you create a whole new sidewalk here? Because it looks like it's not real.
No, the sidewalk was there, but I took stuff off of it,
Oh,
and
okay.
I cloned it and enlarged it and transformed it.
Yeah.
Can I just say something? When you use the clone tool, the way to get it to look more realistic is to patch. Do you ever try using the patch tool?
You mean this? Oh, no, I
Yeah.
use the spot removal, and
Yeah, the patch tool.
The
Oh,
patch tool
okay.
will solve the problems that the spot removal tool creates.
Oh,
Right.
okay. That's
Yeah, you
cool.
still have to be careful because the patch tool can screw things up too, but it's a
Yes.
lot, it works a lot better than the clone tool. And you've seen Jim use he's got a whole action set up in Photoshop where his action actually uses the patch tool. He will actually try to fill it in, use the fill tool first. And if that doesn't work, then he's got the patch tool available where he can use the patch instead.
Yeah.
So
I'll give that a
If
try.
you look in the left-hand corner, you have sharper areas there, and you could have
Ah.
taken the patch tool,
Yeah.
taken the sharper areas over and
Yeah.
covered up the blurry areas.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, and that's apparent in one of your other pictures, Jim, on the general side too. Yeah, patch tool would have worked a lot better there.
Well,
Robert-
I did something on this that I said I wasn't going to do anymore. I went back in my archive and got pictures. This was an event they used to hold in St. Pete called the Festival of Speed, and they haven't done it for 3 or 4 years now. So,
Robert, any comments?
Oh, absolutely.
oh dear.
Make them short. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, we have a disengagement here between the owner and the bike.
Yeah.
A huge disengagement. We also have a composition problem as well, where the bike owner and the bike are intersecting with the owner's attention going somewhere else. And because of that, the attention going somewhere else, he's actually taking me out of the photograph.
Right.
I have to agree with Robert on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what can I say? Robert, just tell me what I think and I'll say it.
Robert,
You should have whistled at that guy and have him look at you.
Robert wants him to be hugging the bike.
Yes.
Bike. All right, moving on.
Yep.
Good.
Go ahead.
Good juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Between the two things, but again, there's like too much stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, hey Lynn, just zoom in quickly on the name on the tank on the motorcycle. On the motorcycle, the name by the tank.
Maytag.
Yeah, it's a washing machine engine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty with shooting cars, especially
Yeah.
when they're out in the world, is there's always stuff around them, and so it makes it really difficult. You gotta, you'll see with actually with this next picture, this is how you get rid of some of it.
Yeah.
You get down low, and I know, Jim, that's not easy for you to do it for a lot of us. But yeah, this one is, that's how you get rid of a lot of that background is you get down low and shoot up.
Well, I can get down low. I can't get back up. That's my problem.
I have the same problem.
Well, if you shoot up as Lynn has suggested, then the drugs that'll go into you will help you up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as we have a plan.
Yeah, this one, so we move on to this one a little bit. This one's just a little too dark for my taste.
Yeah.
I just want to open up the shadows a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Did you get on the floor for this thing? How, I mean.
Lee was sitting, he was down. He was, basically the camera was sitting on the ground.
Wow.
Well, and with articulating.
I like that.
The beauty of the articulating LCD on the back of the camera is you can do that without having to get down on your hands and knees. Because back in the day, if you wanted to shoot this, you had to lay on the ground. But with the articulating LCD, you can set the camera. And Lee likes to do this a lot. He likes to set the camera on the ground and shoot that way with the LCD sitting out. It's basically parallel to the ground, so you can see it. But you've got to work. It's something you got to practice at, because you got to learn how to focus by looking at the LCD. Robert, any comments?
That I do want to point out. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You see this line right here?
Yep.
All right, that line is a problem right there. Number one. And the other thing is this mirror is breaking that plane there.
Yeah. Yep. If he had been up just a little bit,
Just a hair.
been up just a little more, it would have been slightly better.
Now, Rick, I want you to know that this was definitely a nitpicking thing.
Yes.
But the nitpicking on this is one of those things that says going from a really good picture to a great one.
Yeah, I mean, this one is I would think I would try to use the new mask instead of just taking up the shadows, because it lightens up everything. And I would go in here and I would brush all this in and use, to get rid of the dark. It's just too dark because you're losing all the details here. So.
But the shot itself is very dramatic. So.
Yeah. I mean, guys, when you shoot cars, if you get down in front of them, they look like a totally different thing. And it also gets rid of a lot of the stuff that you want to see. And, we've got a couple others like that as well. All right.
My age, you better make sure there's somebody next to you to help you get up.
Yep. Yeah. That's what when I go shoot these things, I wear knee pads. Helps a lot.
Lynn, what lens was that he used?
It was a wide angle. He's been shooting. He was using his 24mm prime.
Okay. Thank you.
This one's.
Go ahead.
This one looks good. I was just like, what is that in the window? It's the harness on the window. Thinking there was a window there, but there's not.
I got a major question on this one. And I just want to satisfy my curiosity because we're here. Can I go in tighter? Any way you can take me? Can I get in 200%, 300%?
I don't know. Can you? Hold on.
Hit the tab. Let me go to the tab.
There's 200.
All right, there's 200. Okay, I'm looking for him, but I don't see him.
What, you're looking for the driver?
Yeah.
The driver's there.
It's because the harness is in the way. He's right there. Here's his helmet.
I see his helmet right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's racing.
Yeah, I know. One of the things that I was hoping that it was there, but I couldn't see him. So you're good, because I was going to challenge you on that one.
Give us Caesar a hard time.
Oh no,
I particularly selected an image where the driver was less important than the car.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'll grant you that, but but obscuring the driver puts the attention there.
Oh,
When we see something, we see, acknowledge, and then move forward.
Yeah.
By removing the driver, then you draw attention to it.
well, I didn't remove him.
No, I'm
Sure.
saying you said that you intentionally picked to an image where the driver was obscured.
Well, it was less relevant. I didn't try to necessarily obscure it, but I just wanted to make sure it complied with the theme for the competition.
Yeah,
No,
because
I
he
get
didn't
it.
want you to say the driver was the subject of the picture. I know
Yeah.
where he's going with it.
Not really. That's not where I'm going.
No,
I'm
not
saying-
not you, Caesar.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I knew you would look.
The thing about it is that this could have easily have been a photoshopped image.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's why I was.
Oh, altered reality. I get you. I don't do that.
The
know,
ghost driver.
I just added a radio filter here, a filter just to a radial gradient to just kind of lighten it up a little bit, because then it makes it a little less, I don't know, dark in that spot, maybe.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it does.
So
Yeah.
one of the problems I had with this engine, with this image, was the wheels and the tires were different. But it looked odd if I didn't try to make them look somewhat similar. And that was a challenge I had. So I was adjusting the tires. To make sure they were the right level of blackness, but I was also trying to fill in the wheels because he had different wheels as well. So that was a juggle I was dealing with.
Well, you did a good job on it. Looks good.
I have a question on this. How did you stop the motion at 1/320th of a second?
I was panning. I was
Oh.
panning that's a good point. One, I wanted to make sure I was shooting slow enough to make sure the tires and wheels were obviously spinning. And the other aspect was I was panning because I wanted to make sure the background was blurred.
All right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and if he had even slowed it down a little bit more, because that's actually a pretty fast panning
Yeah, it is.
shutter speed, the tires would not have been as noticeable in the back either. It would have just
Got
been
it.
a black blur. Yeah.
And I wasn't that far away
Yeah.
from the vehicle. And so the closer you get to the vehicle, you got to make different adjustments and trial and
Right.
error.
Right.
Thanks.
Next. This is an interesting detail shot.
I really like this one.
Yeah, even if it was, just the mirror would have been not quite as interesting as that long, drawn out shadow that was coming down the side of the car.
Yeah, when you had them up as a grid, I saw that one right away.
Yeah. Robert?
Yeah,
Jim?
this was an artistic eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, someone saw a version of the car that gave some life to this shadow.
This is typical Lee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
This is the stuff he sees all the time.
Yeah, I really, the shadow is really nice, but I think the mirror itself is, with all the old cars that are around, there could have been a more ornate, more photogenic kind of mirror.
The only problem with that, and I said only potential problem, not exact problem, is the light may not have been the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's seeing the graphic here,
Yeah.
and you kind of deal with what you got with getting that graphic. So.
Yeah.
But I had a question. Wouldn't a stronger vignette also bring more attention to the shadow and the central portion of it? Like a stronger vignette that kind of makes an oval would add a nice effect, don't you think?
It looks like he's got one in here already. I mean,
I was gonna say, it looks like a vignette is there.
Yeah, it's vignetted for sure.
Yeah, but I think more of an oval style vignette would really make this pop oval rather than just a spotty corner to the right, a spotty corner to the left. Yeah, thank you. and then black out. How's that?
Yeah, I'd have to move it up a little bit, I think. Something like that. That's what
That
you're
adds
talking
some
about.
drama. I feel that adds some drama.
And then I would, if we were going to do that, then I would go in here and actually brighten this up just a little bit too. You guys are seeing the new features on.
Yeah, cool.
Lightroom.
Very good. Excellent.
So, it's that, yeah, there's a lot you could do right here in Lightroom where you had to do most of this. And, with Lightroom, the previous, in the details or the effects panel, you had that vignette ability, but it was very limited with the radial gradient. Me and Robert showed us this before, use the radial gradient. And it used to be that it was on the outside. Now it's always on the inside of the gradient, and you have to invert it to do the outside. But you can, if you move, let's go back to this one. If you move this around, you see that you can actually make the vignette go in different places, and then it's not all just in the corners like everybody else. Yeah, like you normally see. It's not set in one spot, right, Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Question, before this radio graduate on the top, now move to where cannot find?
What now?
Before
Find
all
the
the
radiant
version,
gradient. She can find the gradient.
radial grade, yeah,
It's
where?
up here. Yeah, have you got the newest version of Lightroom? You
Yeah,
gotta have the newest light, and if it's the radial gradient is under this, if you use this little gray thing here,
yeah.
you have to go plus, and there's the radial gradient right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the linear
Okay.
gradient is here, and the brush is here, and now they also have added color range and luminance, which used to be underneath these, but they're separate, and this makes this is all what Robert's going to be talking about in January. Is the game changer. These two up here, the select subject and select sky, and color range and luminance ranges are game changers. So we'll be talking about more about those, and we might use these a little bit going forward tonight too, if we have time.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, next. I like this one. I like the colors, but I kind of wish these other ones were a little more in focus.
Yeah.
Robert?
I'm good with what you're saying.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think that they have to be, because
Yeah.
the central focus is already repeated in the foreground one,
Right.
and they're adding color and texture to it.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying.
And there's a couple of little things sticking down here in the picture. I'm not sure what these are. I would have gotten rid of those as well, but other than that, I like it. Diana, any questions?
Nope, thank
Okay.
you. I shot this. I was like Jim, I had to go back because I wasn't at your car thing. I was out of town. So I had to go find a shot, and boy, this was one of the first shots I've ever tried to do this kind of stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
4 years old. So yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to shoot this weekend, there is another car show at Safety Harbor. That's where Jack is, I think. If he hasn't showed up tonight, he's actually shooting for them. It's the car club he belongs
It's
to.
that MG.
MGs.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested, it's tomorrow, and I believe tomorrow and Sunday. So
Actually, that's where this was shot. And I tell you what, it is really hard to shoot there because there was a ton of junk behind this one.
Yeah, it's the way it is at every show.
Yeah.
Okay, this one. This one is Sylvia, or no, this one is Sylvia's.
Sylvia, I did check to see if the driver was in there, and you're right. There is a driver in there.
He's in there.
That's my husband.
Yes.
That's your husband driving?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
That's a Bradenton dragway or whatever.
Okay. I would get rid of some of this stuff down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And straighten it out.
Yeah.
There, better. Because your eye goes right down there to all that stuff.
What is that blue line that goes through the tires, the bottom part. Yeah.
That's the wire. That's a double wire fence. And I tried a couple of times to see if I could take that out, but it got real difficult to do at the tires. So
Okay.
I said, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
The only reason I left that, I kind of thought it was cool that the racing flags were there, but maybe it is distracting. But I thought, well, that looked kind of cool. But
But if it was just the flag, Sylvia, yeah, but you've got tractor and whatever the heck this is and all these words underneath. Yeah, it's way too distracting.
Yeah, I got you.
Sylvia, you just told yourself, by the way,
What's that?
you like bad boys.
Yeah.
We know Manny is a bad boy.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but he used to be.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, I can tell.
Just before you start.
Just as an aside, my first husband, my deceased husband, he was world champion NHRA drag racer in 1979.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I just
my
want to
husband
say,
and our first date was going to a drag race, and I thought, wow, this is a real classy guy. But we're almost married 50 years, so I guess it worked out.
yeah.
This is nice.
before you, Robert, before you critique this one, this is mine. I just tried out Topaz Gigapixel AI for the first time because I knew I had 40 megabytes. That's the largest size image you guys will accept, right?
Yeah.
So I tried to resize this to get it really large. I don't know what happened to the DPI. I'm really sorry. This is a very sharp image. The original is very sharp, so I'm really sorry.
I don't like it like that. It seems so painterly.
It's dimensions. The dimensions are really tiny. I mean, it should be. You should be when you save these. It should be 3,000 on the long 3,000 on the long side, Catherine.
Yeah, I think I just used the program wrong. The Gigapixel.
Yeah, because it's like 320, so it's little bit. It's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny, and I'm sorry about that. I don't know what I didn't know what I was doing. I don't think.
But it's
I like
cool,
the
a cool
shot.
image.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
I
cool
like the
one.
shot. It looks like a puzzle.
Yeah,
the shot looks
does.
cool.
If you saw it sharp, I think you'd like it even more. I'm sorry about that.
When you email, did you email an original size?
I'm going to go back and take a look. I did something wrong. I messed up big time, and I'm just sorry. A very sharp image. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
still cool because
All right.
Yeah.
because technically because it's all because of the distressed surface, that makes it kind of look like it shouldn't be sharp anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I thought it had a real
Yeah.
painterly old painting,
Yeah.
old photograph
too.
feel to it. I thought it was kind of cool.
See, I got away with it with this one, but then the other one.
Yeah, the other one's a little different. Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
sorry.
You're gonna have to go sell your house to just to get out of town that next one.
I agree.
All right, this one is so awesome. Just a little bright.
Yeah.
Dave, I want you to do a couple of things. This is you, right, Dave?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I just want you to do a couple of things. When you get such a impactful image as you do, go ahead and take away those hot spots.
Okay,
Yeah.
good point. Yeah, I played with it a bunch of ways.
Yeah.
I
it's
figured
hard.
you'd nail me on it not being symmetrical, but the car wasn't symmetrical.
No, not at all. It's funny. The
Yeah.
whole thing is funny.
Yeah.
And it draws your attention with the impact. It's just the minor thing of just cleaning up the little hot spots.
Yeah.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, like right here under his eye and this one here.
Yeah.
Some of these, especially the ones that are kind of around the face look. I don't know if you could do anything about this one here because that is really.
I played
blown
with that. I couldn't figure
Yeah.
out a way.
Yeah, that one's way blown out.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you what it is I do when I do stuff like this, and that's only because I'm still pointing out I do this kind of things for a job, and that's not a brag thing. That just means I have to pay more attention to detail. What I do is I'll shoot this that I really, really like it, and then I'll move over at a slightly different angle just to get the brightness off of it. and then use that to clone it back into the image.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea, and you heard it from me, by the way.
What about?
Yes, I did. What
You
could
know,
be better?
we always are told to shoot basically shoot for the highlights. So if we made this so that this highlight wasn't so white, would it be so dark that we couldn't bring it back? But I think we could bring it back and still not have this blown out or all these blown out sides. I mean, when you've got the sun above you, it's really hard because the sun is going to blow out no matter what you do, I think. So
Yeah, I really had to push it to get the eyes as bright as they were. So.
All right, now here's where I solicit people in order to do that. I tell them to take your hand and put it right over there to block that light that's coming down on that.
Yeah, that's when it's nice to have a scrim with you, but who carries a scrim around at a car show?
I'm just saying anybody can walk around and stick their hand over the light.
Yeah, that's true. You could use your hat or your jacket. So think of those things. I've been there, done that before for sure.
Very good. I'm not sure about this shot.
Sylvia,
I'm not sure about this one. And when I say I'm not sure about this, tell me the role of the guys with this shot.
Well, the reason I called it the reveal, and unfortunately the backstory doesn't show in the photograph, which is difficult, but this was a Camaro club my husband's a member of, and they had a member who was very ill in the hospital. A young man had to have valve replacement, and they took his car while he was in the hospital, got with his wife, and they did a lot of updates on his car for him. And then when he was better and well, they took the car to a big warehouse where they had it, and they had it covered. And then he came in and he didn't know they had done all this to his car, and they pulled the cloth off the car to reveal what they had done to his car to make it prettier. So that's the backstory of the.
Now, in this shot, it's no longer about the car.
Well, yeah, I thought of that too, but I didn't think they were a big focus. But you're right, it is about the story of the, revealing the car. But
Robert, I think she could get rid of just that one guy, with spot healing, just get rid of that one guy.
Get rid of both of them.
Oh, both, but one guy you need to hold that tarp. And I think
you don't.
Take it all out, I guess.
Take it all out. You got enough
Yeah.
white in the background. You got enough white in the background in order to, and then it becomes a beautiful car shot.
Yeah.
It's got great lighting on it. Great reflections on the flooring. You don't need them.
But I think the title and what he's doing is interesting, actually, because he's revealing the car. That's
know the backstory. Sylvia's not going to be there to say a backstory.
Yeah. And your eye does go from the car, even though it's a bright yellow car, back to those guys. And again, that's not what the subject was supposed to be. It's supposed to be the auto. So
right.
Okay. Right.
But you can always put the guy inside the car so Robert will have a driver.
Oh yeah, we need a driver. Was that Catherine challenging me?
Okay, move on, guys. Let's move on.
All right, as perfect as this shot is, I want to point out to you guys that even the best of the best make mistakes when they're doing this. And I don't. Let me qualify it. It's not mistakes. It's just one of those things where you're not paying attention to complete detail. And if I may, please, I'm gonna show you just where it happens.
Right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And there's actually some other places underneath here where
yeah,
that's where the patch tool comes in handy.
I'm not a model of a car.
What is the problem? I don't see what you're pointing out.
It's all blurry. It's blurry. It shouldn't be blurry. And there's some down below that too, right here.
Okay.
Below it. Yeah. Right here and here. Just looks weird.
Robert, we're working on the patch.
Is this a real car, or I guess it is a real car because
it is. The whole thing is real.
Yeah.
That's a real car. I guarantee
Jacks
you.
here, good.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a real car.
Hey, Jack, go look at the photo I shot because it was shot at the show that you are participating in.
Last time, years ago.
Okay.
Jack, is this your car?
No, I can't afford a card like this. This is my, this
Oh,
is,
I thought you were in the car club.
yeah, but not this kind of car. This car it belongs to a cousin of mine. That's got a 1,000 horsepower engine on it that he built, with a blower. And a car like this, to build this car costs somewhere in the neighborhood of $200,000.
You know, I find it humorous that you say, I can't afford it, but my cousin can. It's still in the family, Jack.
Yeah, but money doesn't transfer in the family that easy.
Yeah. Well, see,
Where
the
was
cousin,
shot?
the cousin didn't go into medicine. He went into plumbing.
No, he electrical contractor
Jack, where was this shot?
in his farm.
Wow.
In his
So he owns
backyard.
a farm and a car that's $200,000. Holy crap.
No, he's got 3 of these.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
You get the idea? This is another league. I gotta tell you, this is another league.
What kind of illegal crop does he grow on this farm?
Actually, he raises cattle just for fun. You know, it's his hobby. He used to raise thoroughbreds, but he got out of the thoroughbred business and now has Guernsey cows. Beautiful cows.
Okay, guys, let's move along.
Yep.
This is the one. It's another one that's floating.
Yeah, it's floating a lot.
So let me ask you, excuse me, I came in late. That last one, the criticism was the defocused areas, the areas that I defocused in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I should have kept that sharper. Is that it?
Yeah, the grass least up to the water-ish.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
little too close.
All
Doesn't
right.
make sense, yeah.
Okay, well, for the next one. Okay, thank you.
And we know this is another, let's look and see how big it is. Yeah, this one's another 320. Yeah, it's
Whatever I
like a
did,
10th of what it should be, yeah.
Whatever I did it twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I know what you mean. I'm missing a contact shadow on one of them.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of it's there, but that one just makes it look like that side of the car is floating in air.
Yeah, I need a contact shadow there.
And,
you're right.
and your light should have a shadow too, even though there's a light bulb there, there should be a shadow going off of it.
Okay.
Some
right.
way.
Thank you. You're right. Right.
But it's a cool concept.
Thank
Not
you.
sure the sky, is that supposed to be sky inside the windows?
Yeah, you know, you have to go in close to see how it matches, you know.
Yeah, I can't see, that's the picture.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that, but it is the sky. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a sky with a waterway that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
there's the water going through here. Yeah.
contours, it curves and contours. All I did was just cut out the windows and show the background. That's all I did.
Yeah.
So it was the background the way it was.
Robert,
Right.
anything else?
Yeah, you've said it. You lost me at the floating tire.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Floating
feel
tire.
like I'm in what is that place? It's Los Angeles where the tires go up and down.
I think
El
it's the
something
cars that go up and
near
down.
Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah, those bouncy cars.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next one. See, here's a great way to shoot a vehicle and eliminate all the background.
And still
obviously
maintain the
Karen
shadows.
is blacked out the background too. Karen, is that right?
I believe this is Luann's.
Yes,
Lee
that's
Wen,
right.
I'm sorry, Lee Wen, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Luann, just give me a little bit more space. You're a little tight on the edges.
Okay. Okay. I added more. It looks like I still put on here. Looks like I need more space. Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little tight there.
Mhm.
But lots of great detail in there, and you did a good job.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure what to say about this. Where was the shot?
This is a restaurant, Ybor City on 22nd Street.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me point out why. This is, gosh, I can never pronounce your name.
This berry.
Barry's fine.
I can never do it because every time I think, I'm thinking about something else. So when we're shooting something like this up against a fence like that, it's up against a house like that, the idea is to give it some context. And in this case right here, there's no context for it to be there. And that's in line where the problem is. And I think I remember when you photographed this, what was it you wanted to say about it?
My great grandparents had a Ford Model T truck very much like this, and I was just trying to document it more or less. But I shot this with a Minolta 50mm f2 vintage lens. It's about 40 years old. And I just really liked it, and I wanted a nice sharp shot of it. And at the time wasn't thinking about too much about composition and so on. So any critique that you can offer would be very helpful.
Okay. All right. Well, then that becomes the critique. The critique is about the fence and the house. Everything in a photograph. I mean, everything when it comes when you're presenting a photograph, other than straight documentary, other than that, has to relate to the subject. And the fence and the house in the background, there is no relationship. The gravel and the Model T is perfect, but everything else is not.
And I was trying to think of a way to overcome that. The only thing I can think of, Barry, is to get down low and shoot from the front, like right, left wheel. And use you'd have to use a really wide angle lens to do that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that makes sense.
It's so tight against that fence in the house, you're going to have a hard time eliminating. The other alternative would be come back when it's dark out.
Right.
And
Okay.
just light up the truck.
And if you lit up the truck, a possibility, if you could do this, is to put a light or flash or either something on the inside of it.
Yeah.
And blow it out, and then find a way to turn on those front headlights.
Yeah.
And if you can't turn them on, we can do it in post.
Or you could actually do multiple exposures and light paint the lights. Done that, been there, done that before too.
Yes. Interesting. Thank you.
Did anyone mention turning this into a black and white? I left for a minute. Did anybody say that? What would it look like as a black and white? Wow. That's interesting. Much more interesting, I think. What do you think, Robert?
I'm still, the fence is too modern for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and even the windows look too modern because there's Venetian blinds in them. You know, if they were like drapey windows, like you saw in an older house, that would be a different story. But yeah, the fence in the house are too modern to go with the truck. Oh. Good subject though. Go back and do it again since you know where it is, Barry.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Fong?
Yes, I'm here.
You better go get your husband because I'm gonna tell your husband just what you've been doing when he ain't around.
I was going to ask if you knew them.
They're waving at you.
建哥叫你来呢。
Well, we do have a vehicle but the problem is it's more about the people than it is about the vehicle.
Right. 跟你说。
This is supposed to be the vehicle and not the people and the
I
people.
thought top is mobile. I think this mobile right, so I misunderstanding. So misunderstanding. Also, I know this car museum, but that day I just did the surgery, right knee replacement. I cannot go. So sorry, I miss it.
Yeah.
My husband here. You want to talk with him?
Yeah. that your wife is looking at these people in a different way than I think she should. I think it's inappropriate the way she's looking at them.
Trying to get Fong in trouble, Robert.
I'm trying to.
我给理解错了，他说 mobile， 我想这不也是 mobile 吗？他说不
All
行。
right, moving on. We're running out of time here, guys.
Lynn, on this one,
Yeah.
这不是 mobile 的 right 吗？在哪不一样？
you see my cursor?
Yeah,
All right, see this space right here?
yeah. Too much?
Great. No.
Okay.
But you see how this thing right here
Okay,
abruptly ends, and I have more black over here.
okay.
And that thing right here goes down and cuts down just like that. So I just need just a little bit more space on this side.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know that, I think I had more on the left than I had on the right, so probably that's the reason why. It's sort of, tallish.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of, again, as usual, there was a lot of stuff behind this. That's why I turned it black and white, because the colors were like red or green or.
Oh, I know. I think you understand it, but that this separation piece right here, that's black. I mean, also, so that part coming down just to give this an end.
Okay. Yeah. I
And
see what
going
you're
back
saying.
into the black. So
Okay. Good.
that's my only deal with that. What's my deal with this one? I could take these curtains and cover this car up, and this would stand out. I'd love to see a little bit more of the tire, but right now,
Yeah.
why?
This is Alan's.
Yeah.
Alan, tell me why.
Tell you why about the tire?
No, I'm not talking about the tire. I'm talking about the car in the back.
Oh, this was taken at the Texas State Fair, the auto show, and the other car in the back was there. And I didn't know how to get rid of it.
You see this curtain up here?
We can't see your cursor. There you
see
go.
this curtain right here?
Yes.
You go into Photoshop and you extend that curtain all the way down to right there.
Uh-huh.
And that covers up the car.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Alan, where are you right now? You're in Illinois?
Texas.
Texas? Don't
Yeah.
make me have to come out to Texas and show you how to do this.
Robert, how do you do
You're
that?
welcome. You're welcome anytime, Robert.
You take this portion right here, copy it, and then move it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a simple fix.
Okay, got it.
Now, here's what I want you to know, Alan. You have the right angle on a car, and this is the angle that we use when we're showing cars.
Mhm.
Now, I want to point this out right now because we're going to come upon a shot coming up that does not show this angle. And
Okay.
that's where the problem is.
Okay. Mhm.
So you get kudos for that part.
Okay.
But that car in the back ain't got jack to do with this shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bottom of the tire drove me crazy.
I know. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got don't chop off any parts of the car unless you're going to chop off a lot.
Just use a selection tool in Photoshop and then bring the curtains down with a cloning device.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
I love this shot.
You don't get to say you love that shot until I say I love it.
Well, too bad. I beat you to it.
Now, Karen, you see what she's about to do?
Yes.
Add more depth.
Uh-huh.
And then you can go in here. Oops, sorry.
I did some of that,
Yeah.
but obviously enough.
Just brighten it up a little bit because it was just the same all the way across. I would maybe even darken this side up a little bit.
I agree with you there.
It just needs to be, I mean, you can add, all these gradients all day long and have all kinds of fun. This is the cool part about these things, is it's just so much fun to deal with these things. And if you don't like it, you just delete it, So yeah, there's a lot. This is a cool picture. It's just the tones are all the same.
Okay.
Remember what Colleen said about creating depth.
Uh-huh.
And that's taking light and putting it in some places and lowering the light in other spots. And Robert and Jim has talked about this too, but this whole addition to Lightroom gives us a lot more ability to do this stuff than we ever had before without even having to go into Photoshop.
We run into the same thing with this.
Yeah, you got too much bright stuff over here.
Mm.
And even over here as well, I would say, yeah, we're doing this crudely. So this is just a quickie.
Uh-huh.
Quickie fixes here, but not radial. Shit. Oops.
I heard that profanity.
I did too.
That was, just add another one. So, I mean, like I said, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. I mean, that brings your eye right to this right here. And, ooh, I have another idea.
Ooh.
Invert it and just darken everything. How's that?
Yay.
Now it looks like you have the globe on your shifter.
It looks like a moon, looks like a shot of the moon, you know
Yeah,
that?
just like a moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like I said, there's so much you can do with these new filters. It's craziness, these new tools.
It's the lunar 4-speed eclipse.
Yeah.
Is that tonight or tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Last night.
It was last night.
It was last night.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
couldn't
gotcha.
see it. It was too
Couldn't see it,
cloudy.
yeah. It's
Too
too
cloudy,
cloudy.
Yeah.
Well,
was
actually,
pretty
it was this
tonight.
morning. It was this morning. It was too cloudy though.
Yeah.
Who shot this one?
It's me, Robert.
Alan again.
Alan,
Are you
almost
kidding?
got.
Tell Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, it's Texas.
Yeah, I was just luck. It came by.
Alan, you almost have an ad here.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
almost have it. I mean, it's almost ad quality. You know where the problem is?
Well, there's no motion in the wheels.
No, we don't need the motion in the wheels for that. That would be nice. That's not the deal. You see that back end?
Yes.
I don't have enough information back. I need more space.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, more space.
Yeah, you've got good space because you want room for the truck to go into.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
shooting when you shoot birds, you always want something in front of them because they're going to be flying into it. So but you also got to have enough room for their tail back here.
Yes, and so that brings balance.
Okay.
Can't you just add a canvas? Can't add canvas to that?
He could,
You
but he
can
didn't.
add it, yeah.
Okay.
And you made it just so the truck before it went into the branch. So you're good.
Yeah, see, it's almost hit this branch right here.
Yes.
Good.
So you
So,
have
and this branch too.
you have a near perfect ad there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just curious to see, you guys, have you tried this subject? Let's see how good it is with trucks. Ah, pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
You missed the
Wow.
mirror and the pipe.
Yeah.
And it did get a little tricky here, but it's pretty smart.
That's powerful. Yeah.
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 Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Brian, they're not in focus.
I'm not in focus.
No,
Now,
nothing's
Brian,
in focus. Except maybe this road right here.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, look at it. I mean, here, that's 100% right there. And there's nothing in focus here. I mean, this isn't in focus. This isn't in focus. Nothing's in focus. And like I said, it looks like the closest thing to focus is right here on the road, right here in front. And it's 7.1, so you just didn't have it focused. And I know they're moving, but Yeah,
Well,
it's a cool
yeah.
picture because of what it is, but it's just not in focus.
Well, I definitely didn't see that. I mean, I just thought because they were farther away,
Yeah.
oh, well.
You just looked out and they came by? Or
Yeah.
did you know they were coming?
No, well, actually, earlier there had been like 20 of them that got by, and then I saw 2 of them. I said, well, at least try to grab these while they're there, and I did, but apparently I missed the focus. But yeah, there was I saw some of them stopped, and I asked them, and they said they were on a tour, and they were all just driving.
Is that the Lincoln Highway?
No, that's the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Problem. Now, you remember that the way Alan had that the vehicle turned? And
Yeah.
in his previous shot, this is straight on. This particular deal is straight on. And in that straight on, all it does is just push me back to this line right here. Whereas I don't get very much of the car. If it was just turned this way, just slightly. Enough so that I could see this tire over here and see that long edge on the side over there. And I really don't need that bright spot with that line coming through it. That road is great.
The reason that photo is presented is because of the sunbeam. That's the reason I presented the photo.
You presented the photograph because of the sunbeam, and what is this? What? Okay, all right. Let me do what you just said, Brian, because I don't ever want to take away from. Where's my history? Oh, right here. I don't want to take away from anything, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it a different way. So there is my photograph.
Yeah, the subject was not light beams, Brian, it was cars. And so you've made the car secondary to the light beam.
The light beam was an accent. It was like not just another boring picture of a car, but a car that had something in it. I mean, I had the road and the sun, and it was like it wasn't just a plain old car shot. That's why I liked it.
All right, Brian, I don't want to belabor this, but I am gonna satisfy you, okay? I'm going to satisfy you because you are my friend and I love you. I really, truly, truly love you. And the reason why I love you is because you're such a great friend. Let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna click right here and I'm gonna see if I can do this. Smaller. Okay, right. I'm okay. I think this is it. Okay. And then I'm going to give you a golden light over here with, there's your sun going right over there to your car.
Oh,
Yeah, that makes more sense.
yeah.
So now the car is highlighted and there you go. And in the grand course of things, to tie it off, just to make everybody happy, I'm gonna do one more thing in order to pull it all together. And that's gonna be what Lynn's been doing, that radial gradient. I'm gonna do that. Rotate the piece there, take it out so that it's right about here. And as Lynn has indicated, I don't know where the button is, but I need to invert this.
It's down here underneath.
Underneath, okay, I need to invert that. And now this is inverted. I'm gonna then make this all about the car.
Yep, much better.
Yep.
And now, if I can I now take out that stuff that's not important?
Go, keep going.
That sunbeam going straight down on the ground is so distracting to me.
Yeah. Well, that's
okay.
Taking your eye away from, it's taking my eye away from the car. I mean, the other stuff.
It does not exist. You do not see it.
Pretend it's not there.
You do
What
not see it.
sunbeam?
What
It's not
sunbeam?
there.
Bye-bye, sunbeam.
There you go. Now the sun is going toward the car.
So if it wasn't for this assignment, is the photo any better?
Is the photo what?
If it wasn't for me, if I put it in general instead of auto, would it have been a better photo?
In auto?
No, in general. No, it still has the same problem.
Same problem, exact same problem.
All right.
Show me 3/4 of the car and I'm good.
Yeah, it's just, the car needs to be turned a little bit. You're too, you don't want straight on, and then put that light beam in there and you've got a nice picture.
All right, I completely, totally missed it.
Yeah, and that's why you still remain my friend, because I get to save you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is 9 o'clock almost, and we still have a whole lot of pictures to get through.
We're gonna get through them.
Okay.
Robert, can I say one thing? I made a comment earlier about using the right focus area.
Yes.
You know, and I don't know about everybody else's camera, but there's a few ways to focus your lens, and there's a few settings, like there's wide, there's zone, there's center, there's flexible spot, small, medium, large, there's tracking, and there's expand flexible spot. So before, when we were wondering why the focus was so erratic, and I said maybe he was in the wrong focus area mode, that's what I'm saying. He might have chosen the wrong one of these modes.
That was a Jim Hager's shot.
Right. So
and now let me do a small piece of education right there, just
Okay.
based on what you said.
Yes.
Your camera only focuses on a single plane.
Mhm.
I don't care which mode you use, it's still only going to focus on one single plane. Everything else is known as apparent focus, and you use depth of field or aperture selection in order to give you the clarity in front and back of that plane of focus that you've determined. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, it's still going to only focus on a single plane.
All right. Yeah.
I
so
know
like-
that people are going to go out and challenge me on that, and I want you to.
That's why we have focus stacking, because it changes the plane.
Then why
So-
would they have wide, and why would they have zone, and why would they have center as focus areas? Why would they have that?
No, because it's a matter of how you want to focus. So for instance, if you're on a wide is great for shooting birds in the sky. So whatever comes closest to the sensor that it can pick up the focus, then that's what it'll focus on, the
Right.
closest thing to it. When you have point focus, you're determining where exactly the camera will ignore and only focus on that one single plane. And when you have zone focusing or center focusing, it's saying that it's only going to focus in the center. So what we tend to do is put our subject in the center and then we recompose. And as far as zone, it says that anything that comes in that particular zone and it's the closest to the camera, it will lock on focus.
Oh, I didn't know it was about closest to camera,
Yes, that's when, whenever you're doing anything other than picking your focus point, it will measure whatever's the closest thing to it.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's always in that one plane. No matter
Yes, on
where,
that
it's
one
one
plane.
plane.
That's correct.
But I still think it's important for you to understand the differences and to try them out to see what you get.
Oh, absolutely. Captain, you're 240% right.
Okay. Not 100?
I said 200.
Okay. Got it.
I gave you more credit than you gave yourself.
That's right. All right.
Okay.
I'll take it.
This is Lewanne showing off. He's photographing a poorer car than the one she's driving behind her.
Well, there's another car kind of squeeze between there to try to shoot this.
Yeah, I can see your car in the background.
No, yeah, my car. Yeah.
HJ's.
Yeah. It's an interesting way of photographing the rims on this car and including another car to make it about cars.
Yep.
So
And
great job.
and her reflection is relatively small, so it's not like it's about her. So.
No, yeah. So I'd say if that car had not been in the background, it would have been about her.
Or if it wasn't orange.
Or if it wasn't orange.
Plays a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, if it'd been like dark green or black, it wouldn't have worked.
Because you have the reflections of the orange coming through in the rims.
Yeah.
Is that a Corvette in the background?
I don't know about cars, so I don't know.
all she does is buys them.
I think that's a Lotus.
You have to ask HJ. He's the one that buys them.
All right, let's move it on to general. All right, let's do this quickly.
Jim Hager.
This was great.
Is this you?
Yep.
Yeah, but the photo that I turned in was darker than this.
Let me tell you something. This is called black on black. And in my neighborhood, this is not a crime. This is beautiful.
Great. It is very hard to do.
Yes.
It looks like it's really blown out on what I sent.
No,
not at all.
It's perfect.
Great job.
Yeah, you want some differentiation to show the parts of the dog, parts of his ears, the parts of his muzzle, those red eyes.
So there you go, Jim. You're not going to get that from me again. We got some problems with some cropping. I mean, some cloning back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's where the clone stamp comes in, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm also, I would have much rather had a front 3-corner shot than this one, but
yeah,
like I said, it's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's
you gonna do it? Am I gonna do it?
Go ahead, you do it.
Okay, I just want to point out to you, Fong, is that when you give me the stuff in the background back there, it takes away from your subject.
Okay, got it.
All right. So when you give me that, just that simple crop alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that leaving the stuff on the edge makes it look like they're in the river rather than the ocean. So that gives it some context. Yeah, all that other stuff you don't need. But yeah, they've got good looks on their face. They're interacting with each other. They're not interacting with you, but that's okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You know what would change this shot to a really good shot? And Fong, this is yours, right?
Yeah.
Make this guy the hero right here.
Yeah.
By getting rid of his distraction over there.
Okay.
Just get rid of him. Now, once you get rid of him, I need that squirrel back there. I need a squirrel. The moment I do that, this becomes iconic. This becomes all kinds of little vignettes of things happening.
I take some off the right too.
A little bit off the right, but this guy right here, you got to make him the hero. That other duck there was competing with this one.
Okay, got it.
And what I would do here is it's a little bright.
Yes.
And then you can take, whoops, wrong thing. Whoops, clicked on the wrong thing. And then my favorite new tool here.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You take the highlights down a little bit. And so you lightened up around him.
Yes.
So that makes him more the main subject.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't thank me, pay me. Garrett, talk to me about this one.
Okay, so this was taken at the Florida Aquarium. The reason why it was altered reality is because I painted in the background black, and then I used Luminar to increase the contrast to where it is. I mean, it's not obvious, I guess, because people think that I shot it on the black background.
No, it's obvious.
Like that.
Yeah,
What?
this was another one. Garrett, when you send us the images, you need to make it bigger. Make it 3,000 on the long side. Because it's
Okay,
too
I didn't know
small.
what size you
Yeah,
wanted.
Yeah, it's 3,000 on the long side.
Okay.
Understand why if you made the background black, you didn't make it all black. What's with the gray parts on the left side?
The what?
There is no, we don't see any
There's
gray.
no gray card.
On the left,
Oh,
far
No.
left, no, all the way on the left side, go over to left, not right there. There's
oh, I
no-
guess I just missed that, I guess.
Oh, I don't see anything. Any
Yeah, I
gray.
don't see anything on here.
I do see a little bit of like a little bit of like gray that wasn't
Yeah.
painted. Now that you
Okay.
mentioned that.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I just missed it.
This is a nice shot, though.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the colors in it.
Yes, yes.
Garrett, you did a good job. Now stop doing that.
This one actually won a couple of awards actually
All right.
in
I can see,
contests
I
I
can see
entered.
that.
That's mainly why I entered this one today.
Good job there.
Thanks.
Who's this one?
This one's Steve's. He's not here, I don't
Where's
think.
Steve?
Yeah, I like the flow. There's a nice flow here, even though it's stationary. And I don't think it's quite as strong as the next one. It is strong in a different way because of this flow. And the fact that he converted to black and white, these guys can be pretty dull, but they can also be during breeding season, be pretty bright. But it basically kind of keeps your eye just kind of going back and forth here. So I liked it.
In fact, he created a contrast by putting it in black and white. Also helped as well.
Yeah.
Very strong contrast.
And for me, whenever a bird is behaving, it's doing something, that's the strongest picture. We can all shoot a bird that's standing around on a stick. I do a lot of that myself, or standing or laying down like the pelican is. But when you find one that's actually doing something and you catch it, and you've got it where you got to see the eye of the snake is in focus and the eye of the bird is in focus, it's pretty darn good.
This is Caesar's image.
No,
No,
Whose image is this?
not mine.
This was Steve's as well.
Steve's. Okay. This image is totally taxidermy.
We accuse that. I mean, he could have used a little more tail room.
I
for
could
sure.
use a little more on the back end. Yes.
Yeah, but other than that, it's a pretty good shot. Let's for kicks and giggles, let's try one more time. Voila.
Wow.
She did it.
I'm trying, and guys, the more stuff you try, supposedly over time, the smarter it's going to get. So try the stuff. So, and give it a chance to learn. That's what AI is about.
All right, Caesar, this is yours, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. Compositionally, I want this vehicle to be over here. That's what I want.
The triangle's a little weird.
Yes, it is a little off.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, because what you're looking at is this triangle just kind of lopsided. So if he is like 4 feet further along, it would have been better. Although these would have been moving too, because that's kind of hard to do.
What if you cropped it in the front, towards the nose of the boat?
That would be a crop, yes, but a composition change. Just 4 more shots, high speed to move that over would have given you a stronger composition.
But if I move, help me out here. If I moved it over to the front, then that doesn't give the lead in. Maybe I was trying to overcompensate for the lead in of where the boat was going. And so that's why I chose that composition, only because it provided a lead in. But
I will tell you,
maybe I didn't need that much.
Now, if the shot was this, if it was that, you're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. The other two boats kind of make it look kind of out of balance.
That's the thing, it's the ones in the back. And so that's what we're doing, balancing all three of them. Instead of
So
just
I
the
didn't
one.
know that. I was just trying, because I always thought compositionally that 3 was either 1 or 3.
Yes.
And so I saw the 3.
Yes.
But I didn't quite understand the triangle aspect. I just hadn't learned that aspect of it.
Well, in this triangle right here, okay, we have this going on.
Okay.
This to that, but see the gap, I mean, the small space right here and the larger space right there.
And then the
See that
really big
space?
space between the brown one and the black one.
Right. And so now with this being over there, just slightly over in this area right here, that space would be somewhat balanced with this being the stronger space in the foreground.
Well, I couldn't. Well, that's interesting. That's a challenge trying to get all those boats to cooperate for that triangle, but obviously maybe I did have a image available that had that lead boat in the middle between those other two boats.
Yes. Okay. Just look for it.
Thank you.
All right.
Jack.
I have worked through this one already. So
okay.
Jack,
go ahead.
Great image,
Yeah,
but
I'm here. I'm listening.
I'm making some changes here for you. I increased the contrast. I went crazy with the clarity, which normally you don't want to do, but in deep sky and Milky Way shots, you want to hit it with a heavy lot of clarity. And you also want to hit it with a lot of dehaze. Actually, I went the other way on this one. Hold on, I changed it. I went a little bit further with it up front. Now, this is also where it sounds weird, but I increased the whites by a lot. Okay, went all the way over to plus 49. Then I added a linear gradient. Come on. Where it's not showing it. Where is it? Okay, that's what I did. Okay, so I added the gradient, then it updates the problem was it was too dark down here. And I know this is a really grainy image because it was a long exposure, but it shows the water that's down there, and there's actually a little bit of reflection in the water.
Yeah.
And I adjusted the whites a little bit.
All right.
And I actually increased the highlights rather than decreasing them. I added some texture, which gave us a little bit more up here. I really jacked up the clarity again. Then I also increased the haze a little bit more. Then I did a noise reduction and another, well, actually I lowered so that's the picture that I ended up with. You started off with this. I ended up with that.
That's nice. That's nice, man. You did a good job. I'd give you a 27.
Hey, Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Yeah.
How do you address the bright area of the tree that makes it look like it's under a Christmas tree with the Christmas tree lights on the bottom?
Yeah, that's a little tough. What you could probably do with that is brush around on these branches and lower that brightness, and you can do that again with this filter. I mean, this thing, and just put in there a little, just because it's so dark anyway, you don't have to be exact, but you could lower it and get lower the highlights and get rid of the whites there, and then do a very good job of it. But yeah, you could work on those a little bit. And I know he's got some shots that the tree was not in, so
because that's complicated, because you also have the light reflection off of the water.
Yeah.
So you can't be too carte blanche of just going through and painting it black.
Right. Yeah, it's a difficult one to deal with.
Yes.
And that I know he's got some that don't have the tree in it.
Okay.
So what he should try to do is sort of the same kind of processing without the tree. And when we talked about Jupiter, this is Jupiter over here.
Jack, where did you take this?
This was in Maine.
It's a secret place.
Yeah, in our secret place in Maine.
It's Acadia. Acadia.
Okay,
Wow,
Jack?
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Jack?
a question.
Hey,
You
Jack,
increase,
isn't there a an official dark spot here in Florida, in South Florida, not too far from us?
There's one in Orlando.
No, it's a Kissimmee
Kissimmee, yeah.
Prairie. Yeah, Kissimmee Prairie is the only dark sky area in the state.
Could we do a field trip there one day?
Yes.
We talked about it. The problem is it's a long drive, and if it's cloudy, then you've driven over there for nothing. So.
Well, but then you could do something in the daytime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's something we've talked about. Again, it's a state park, and you can't camp anywhere right now. No, you've got to make reservations at the crack of 12 o'clock on a certain day out of the year. It's hard to do. So maybe in the future, yeah, we've talked about it. And Jim is probably going to do a dark sky workshop in the Everglades this spring. So keep
Hey,
that
Lynn?
in mind. Yeah.
That park you're talking about, isn't that over by Overstreet Landing?
Yes, in that area. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Kissimmee. It's called Kissimmee Prairie, I believe, State Park or something like that.
Okay.
Just put in dark sky area in Florida. It'll come up.
Okay. Thank you.
This is not the time of the year for dark skies, though. The problem being, and this was actually the situation. You see, this is the galactic center right here. This was at like I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And it's going in this direction. So basically, at this time of the year, the galactic center is only visible for a few minutes once it gets dark. The best time for the galactic center to be visible, which is this, and it's huge. This is just a very small portion of it, is in the summertime. And so you want to go someplace in the summertime. The problem in Florida is in the summertime it's cloudy every night. So it's very difficult to get it here when you can see the full galactic center. You can catch it probably in September, October. If you are in a relatively dark spot off of the west coast, you can catch it going down into the Gulf. But again, it's really difficult to get the center this time of year. It's the best time is in the summer. So that's why we travel to places like New Mexico and other places. My best Milky Way shot was at Maine, not at this spot, but at another spot in August. And it was huge. It was so huge, you could see it with your naked eye. So yeah, it was in the summertime in August. So I'm saying enough about Milky Way. Moving on. Dave, this was not straight.
Okay.
Yeah, there was something. I don't know if it was that spot. I think it was this. Where did I do this? Right here. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Now it's straight now.
Yeah.
It's just off by a little hair, but it was like, it was bugging the crap out of me. And I'm like, why is it bugging me? And when I straightened it out, I was like, that was what it was. But yeah, it's a cool picture.
Now you got the towers leaning, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, it's a really cool shot of Chicago's skyline. Robert?
I'd like to ask, is that
Agreed.
a panel, Dave, or is that just a wide angle lens?
That's a wide angle lens. I did a panel that's twice as wide.
Thank you.
But that was a single shot.
Really cool.
Agreed.
I guess I'm bringing up the shadows in these buildings here. I know that's one of Robert's favorite things that he hates to see is shadows where you can't see inside of stuff.
It's where it goes black, where you can't determine, the separation.
Right here. So basically what I did was just take it up a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately doing it in the shadows, it affects everything, but you could go in there with a radial filter and do it, or a brush and get it and brighten that up a little bit because it's just a little too dark back there. And these little trees right here too, a little bit. Again, trying to give us some depth.
Yep.
This is berries, right? This berries?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Love it. How did
You did something absolutely right, except add contrast.
Yep.
Barry, I didn't even know a train ever went through that. I've sat in front of that stupid thing out, that's in Tampa, right?
Yes, that's the Cass Street Bridge.
Yeah.
Train goes over that 3 times a week.
Huh.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, about 6:30 to 7 p.m.
Really?
Oh, there you go. Do your research. I guess that's a trick. for
Yeah,
us.
I ride my bike on this route every day, so I know when all the trains come.
Wow.
Barry, did you see what I just did?
Decrease the exposure.
I masked the sky.
Okay.
It's not perfect because the sky is a little flat.
Okay.
See how flat it is?
Little Lynn.
A little.
Right.
It's very flat. And
Right.
so
I've already dropped the sky about 2.5 EV
Yeah,
from it was
see,
just almost
just-
white
just-
before.
So using Lightroom, I used the select sky mask, which isn't perfect, but it's actually did a pretty good job considering it's black and white.
Yep.
And then I just increased the contrast. I lowered the exposure by, that's too much, about right there, I think. And I increased the blacks a little bit. So it gives the sky a little more, and you'd have to work on this a little bit. There's add and subtract here. You can add to the mask with a brush, because you could add here using the radius. You could actually, have a mask inside a mask. Again, this is we'll be talking about this in January. But
Sure.
yeah, so this actually gave your sky a little more definition. And it
Sure.
basically sets your train off a little bit more. So now that I'm let's see, close this, and we'll go back to the train. And the train is just a little too dark. We want contrast, but we also were again filling in, we were taking too much dark. There was too much dark here that we couldn't see what was there. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah, you want contrast, but you don't want it so dark. You don't want the contrast so contrasty that it's just black and white. I mean, you can go like that, and that's too much. Robert?
Right.
Yeah, that's all. I need a contrast. Great shot, by the way.
Yep. Cool.
Thanks. Interestingly, this shot doesn't look very good in color. In black and white, it's much, much stronger.
Yeah, because there's too much going on. If it was in color, it would be so, everything is so distracting because the bridge is different color, the trains are different color, the cars are different color. You've got those buildings in the back that are blue and green and silver, and you got green trees. Yeah, black and white saves you. It really cuts down on the stuff in the background a lot.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
good choice.
Thanks.
Diana.
Oh.
Let's do the same
Barry?
thing here.
Hey, Barry, did you say that was Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7:30?
Yeah, it comes through after the Amtrak train leaves the station. So it's sometime between 7 and about 8 o'clock, sometimes a little earlier, but yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday nights. Unfortunately, now it's dark every time because of daylight savings is over. It took me months to get that shot.
That's good.
Seriously.
I did. Okay, Diana.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see what I just did? I selected the sky on this one as well.
With the sky thingy?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
And again, it didn't do it perfectly, so I'm just doing a quickie job here. So you would have to go in and brush in the rest of the sky. But
Okay.
it's this is basically giving the sky a little more contrast.
Okay.
And I can select the sky again and invert it and make some changes down here as well and not affect the sky. See what I'm saying?
Do that again.
So I selected the sky and I inverted it because
Okay.
you can't select this. You can't select the land. If there was a person standing there, you could select that as your subject. But you select the sky and then you click invert. And
Right.
it goes down and it now is on the land and on the tree.
Right.
And then you can make changes to that you would not be able to do. You would, affect the sky.
Without messing up the sky.
Again, the beauty of this change to Lightroom is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just using see what clarity does to the mountains.
Yeah.
It gives you a little bit of more contrast. So we started off here and we ended up here.
Wow. Thank you.
One
One question, Lynn.
Like Death Valley to me. I would never have guessed that.
Yep.
I mean, I believe you. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next one. This one's Lee's.
That's beautiful.
And it's blown out.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the composition.
Yeah, I actually have almost the exact same composition. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And we were not standing next to each other when we took this. He was way down and then I was way down here and I came back and I took, I mean, it's like you see these compositions and they're there. You just gotta look.
I love the way the top of the trees mirrors the colors of the top of the tree mirror the colors on the bottom.
Yep.
It just ties it all.
It's a form of framing. So
yeah, it's beautiful.
Sky is unnaturally blue on the right side.
Yeah, it's a little too blue, but
yeah.
It was whatever the last thing you did, Lynn.
Yeah. I lowered the highlights, but that's all I did. Well, actually,
okay.
there's a little dehaze in there. But yeah, it's, and the sky is pretty darn blue up there when you see it. So, and then this one's mine.
I love that. That's cool. Where was that?
That was at Acadia. It's at Upper Hadlick Pond.
Wow. Beautiful.
Robert, any comments?
Yeah, just take a little off the top.
Take a little off the top?
Yeah.
I was trying not to make it too matchy.
There you go.
Okay. But yeah.
Would you reduce the highlights on that, Robert?
The highlights and the trees are what's bringing it forth. So you need them.
Okay.
Yeah, I put the I actually used a radial filter on those trees because they're birch trees and they are white and they just were kind of grayish. So this whole scene was actually pretty flat when I don't have the original here. This is my JPEG on it, but it was pretty flat. And just, by using Robert's favorite things, this calibration did a lot of that. And then I used a radial filter right across here to bring the whites out in those trees.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Okay.
I like the feel of this one.
Yeah, this is a very
Isolation.
favorite spot. Robert, what do you think?
Yeah, just coming up from the bottom. You're right on the money.
And then
I was afraid to do that.
Why?
those sands are bright orange.
Yeah, they are, but I was afraid it would look too artificial.
We know those sands. See, the road is still the right color. It's that sand is orange, and it gives you that it matches your colors and shapes. It matches your title, and I would go up with the clarity too, just a little bit, just to give a little more definition in all this stuff here. Okay. I mean, you could use the contrast, but the contrast is pretty heavy duty.
Well, I use Colleen's thing of making dark and light, like up in that swirl, and I darkened all the dark areas and lightened some of the.
But see, it's still pretty flat when you go to here, from here to here.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to use that stuff. You can always, put too much on and then back it off.
Okay, thank you.
Robert?
Yeah.
We're going to work on that shot tomorrow, Robert.
Yes. Yeah, it's an easy fix.
Okay.
And I don't
really
even
is an
know, I
easy
don't
one.
know whether this would help.
I thought about making the
actually-
tree lighter, but I was,
Actually, no, wait, I'm gonna try something else here.
okay.
I'm gonna use the color range.
What does that do?
No, somehow there's green. Oh, no, wait, you'll find it. Find it. Okay, so now it's only picking up the green.
Uh-huh.
So you can increase the green color. Make it greener. So
See,
now the
yeah.
tree stands out a little bit.
Okay. I darkened that tree actually.
I'm just making it greener because then it's not the same color as, it's sort of the same tone as everything else.
Right.
But that's,
right.
I used in this mask, I used the color range rather than one of the other ones.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wanted to know if this is a slightly off in this color, Jack. Is there some sort of LUTs that's been applied to this?
Jack, you still there?
Yes, yes, I am. I was muted. What was the question, Robert?
Did you apply a LUTs to this?
No, I put contrast on it. I hear a dog barking. Is there a dog barking? Or that's me barking. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the sky color is off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it dehaze?
Nope, that doesn't help.
Go to the building with your eyedropper.
It's still a little too green.
So can't you select the sky?
No,
Yeah.
no, I think you got it with the magenta right there.
Yeah, the magenta.
The gray in the
makes it
foreground
better,
is
yeah.
looking a lot better.
Yeah. Then here again, here's where when we learned the stuff from our friend Colleen and from Robert to give us some depth. Actually, I'm going to do it here.
Mm.
Actually, I'd already done this. Oh, I forgot. Just in weird, just go through this and put little spots of light.
Yes.
Just so it's not all one tone.
Uh-huh.
Because there is light coming in here. It's diffuse light. So you don't want a bright spot, but the more of these little spots that you add, the more depth you have in your image.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing a pretty quickie job here, and I would make that a little warmer. So we started off from here and now we're here.
Uh-huh.
And that's just a quick, you could do some more. Robert, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on that first mask, that very first one
Uh-huh.
that you did, the very first, this mask, that one right there. Add just a little bit of warmth in there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
So it gives it a little more depth when you start doing this. It takes time, and and it's something I've been learning lately as well. So
whenever you shoot wide, you want your viewers to look at everything in the photograph, because you've chosen wide to give them something to look at other than the main subject by adding lights and darks.
Might even just
Oh, no, leave that. Go back down to your color range, down all the way down, color calibrations. Color calibrations at the bottom. All right, yeah. And I need those yellows. There you go. I need those yellows to bark at me.
Yeah, it's still a little purple in here though. That's what's bugging me. I don't know about this.
And that's simply a brush and bringing in some green in that area.
Yeah.
But you want things to bark at you.
So it's too purple for me. I don't know. Way up. Yeah, that's better. That's a little better. You probably have to brush it in over here. But it makes it look warmer like it was when we were there.
Uh-huh. It was pretty cold.
Yeah, not that cold.
I remember it was kind of cold.
Okay, and Lee
Thank
Wynn,
you.
same
Thank you, guys.
problem, same deal here. This is all too dark. I know it was dark when we were there, but there's plenty of light in the sky, so you can lighten some of this up and warm it up a little bit. And I would take a radial and put it right here underneath this guy. Not quite that big.
Was this a club trip?
No.
Huh.
It was a friend trip.
Wow.
Just, I don't know, just kind of.
I got it.
You
Yeah,
say,
I see
yeah,
what-
just kind of open up some of these rocks so that it looks like he's not standing on this big black thing. Robert, what do you think about cropping this one too? Because this boulder right here bugs me.
And then I thought about that, and then I thought that like just little trees there.
Yeah. Robert, what do you think? Robert, did we lose Robert?
He's muted.
Yeah, I'm there. Okay. So as I mentioned, more boulder or less boulder, but if I do more less boulder, then I'm inclined to take that portion and go ahead and do the crop, and then go in here on this end and just remove it altogether.
Yeah.
And
this way, yeah, I think it makes it so that the person is more prominent, because Lee Win, that boulder kind of takes your eye away from the person.
Yeah.
And all I did was take, I think 3.2 seconds, and there it is.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We're almost there, guys. Whew. Sylvia, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why is this so purple?
Well, probably from me playing around with it, trying. It was kind of stormy and dark, cloudy in the sky with the sunrise. So,
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that looks.
I mean, we could add some warmth to it.
Yeah, I was trying to go. There was reflection on a little bit on the water.
But the rocks were all. I mean, the sky is a little purplish, but the rocks were purple. I'm like, why would the rocks be purple?
I didn't realize. I guess not. I didn't see that it was purple, but yeah.
And Robert, what do you? The composition. I mean, this is a cool picture because the long exposure and what's in here. But what do you think of the composition?
I can come in from the left side.
Where?
Yeah, about there.
And why?
There's nothing. Everything is about this bridge is going out to this light. My foreground is going to support that. So you're giving me a foreground deal. And wait a minute, where's my deal there? Okay. You're giving me this foreground, and that's great. All I need to do on this foreground is just add a little bit of clarity to it so that it becomes prominent and reflects a little bit of that light in there. So that's going to be, I need to marry these two and not marry what's over on the left-hand side. And by marrying those two, I'm simply going to add a little bit of warmth in there. Just a tiny bit of warmth. Is it doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's doing it. Okay, and some clarity. and a little bit of texture along with it.
Yeah,
And
I had
then-
actually done that, but I don't know why it got to be purple.
I don't know about the purpleness. I just had a little too much there. This swirl that's in the foreground is taking me up to here. I just didn't need it that much on the left-hand side.
My question is the bottom lip too heavy?
I don't think so. If you can crop up a little bit, but I don't think it's too heavy.
Okay.
But then I'm not, I think it's a matter of preference at this point. The shot itself is strong enough. I'm throwing it out there. What do you guys think? If you're still awake, let me know.
You're awake.
I think what you did to it makes it much more stormy looking, which is prettier. It added the drama to it.
I'm just wondering if we
What are your thoughts, Lynn?
select
Get it
the
out there.
sky. If we could do anything there to make it even more, because what I'm trying to do is make the top as heavy as the bottom, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I do also want you to, everyone here to know that sometimes it is not the right sky.
Yeah.
And in this case, I wish for a better sky.
Yeah.
Because everything else is really good. The swirl of the water, the rocks in the foreground, the bridge leading out to it. But when I get to the sky, although I have the nice yellow color and the dark clouds, it's not congruent with the water, the movement of that water.
Yeah.
That water has a swirl to it.
Yeah.
The clouds are really static and stark. So I don't have that same feeling.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking if we made more contrast in the sky, then it would be a little more equivalent to the rocks at the bottom.
If the sky down?
Yeah.
Now, it's not a matter of taking the sky down.
Can you crop it?
Yeah, you still have the same sky though.
Yeah.
For me, if I had to save this photograph, I'd take it over to Photoshop, do a motion blur on that sky, and give it some movement.
Or Robert, you could go into Photoshop and now you can just replace the sky.
Yes, I replace it. I will replace it with something less harsh.
A stormy
I
sky.
didn't think about
Stormy
that.
sky.
I didn't think about replacing it. I might do that.
Yeah.
Last four, guys, let's move it along.
Len, you're the one that's been stopping everything.
I know. I just all this stuff in Lightroom has just got me so excited about post-processing again. I can hardly stand myself.
You're just like my wife. He's like, hurry up and let's go until she leaves something.
Yeah. So that's just like, I'm doing my last shot. Yeah, 20 minutes later, I'm still doing my last shot.
Yeah. Beautifully composed here, Len. I'd love for you to talk about why you altered it.
Because there was the original had if you could look at all the lines in there, that was a whole bunch of leaves and grass and all kinds of stuff that was going on in there, and it was very distracting. And so it was a little overexposed to start off with, and I played around with it and I couldn't get it to be what I wanted. And I thought, you know what? First I tried it in black and white and that didn't work. So then I thought, well, I'm going to go in to Topaz Impressions and try it. And I really liked what it did. So that's where I ended up. And I did put a radial filter on the butterfly and, increase the saturation of that just a little bit in contrast.
Yeah. I just add just a tiny bit more orange to it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. You had a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. I mean, yeah, because it's that the lightness of the surrounding area is
too light.
Optically, it's optically drowning out the orange.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Next
it
one.
on that one. Ryan, don't block. Go ahead, Len.
This is a great idea here. Just too dark here.
Yes. Yes.
And actually, I did do some work on this one already. So I up in the shadows a little bit. Then I decreased the highlights a little bit, and I increased the contrast just a little bit. Then I put the sky, I picked out the sky, and I darkened the sky. I put some contrast in there so that the stars would show. I did a little dehaze and then did a little clarity. And it needs to go through a denoise because it's very noisy. See?
I put it through a denoise.
Yeah, well, it still has a lot of noise in it, but it was just way too dark. And I think I would probably do less.
This is way lighter than what my eyes could see. My eyes couldn't even see the color at all.
But you don't want to, just because you can't see it doesn't mean you can't see it with your eyes, doesn't mean you don't want to see it when you've got the picture, because it's just black stuff. So, I mean, it's really a cool image because it's obviously a big fog bank down there in the valley. And then, the stars, it just makes the stars poke out a little bit more. It's just too
I actually tried light painting the two trees in the front, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, it would probably have been way too bright. Robert?
You did everything I was gonna do.
Okay.
And my biggest thing was the trees that were too dark.
Yeah. Yeah, it just needs some noise reduction. And it's really the noise. Yeah, I mean, it's hard because it's so dark that there's a lot of missing data here. So I mean, if you ran this through Topaz Denoise AI, it might do a better job than Lightroom.
I did run it through Topaz Denoise.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when it's that dark because there's just nothing there for it to work with. Oh, anyway. Okay. And whose shot is this? Caesar, is that yours?
This is my image.
Okay, this is awesome, except for these leaves. Get rid of the leaves.
So would that have been altered reality if I got rid of the leaves?
No.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Because we wouldn't have known they were there.
Okay.
But there's distracting. Remember, yeah, that didn't work. We don't want distracting things in our picture. Look at that. 2 seconds.
Better image.
2
Oh,
seconds.
yeah, beautiful image. And you could have just a little, let's see, little texture. See what it does for the wings, the feathers?
But I thought I had more. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. So if you go back to that, there's some there, but that's one of the things.
Focus.
Yeah, one of those things with birds. But the color, the problem is they're bright colored and it all kind of meshes together. And if you use a little clarity and a little bit of texture, for birds, it adds a little bit more to it.
Because when I zoomed in, I could truly see it.
So we got there to there.
Okay, better, much better.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool to use a select subject on the bird sometimes and do the texture and the clarity just on the bird if you don't want to get stuff, it's really kind of neat now in Lightroom.
Voila.
Hey, Lynn, can you show how you, Lynn,
can you make it really blue?
Well, yeah, that's what I
Lynn, can you
do
that
make
again?
it purple and green.
Lynn, can you do that thing again? Put that, do the select subject again. How do you take it off between the beak and in that little space?
You'd have to do a subtract and then use the brush.
Okay, cool. Got it.
And then you go in here.
I haven't played with this at all. I got it.
It takes a little bit of work, but you can, it's a doable thing and you can just get rid of that.
Okay, cool.
And if you have to add, you can use the add and do the same thing. And like I said, there's filters inside the filter. So if you're using a filter and you wanted to use a radial gradient on the bird, you could actually do that too. So like it's craziness.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, I mean it is crazy what they've done with the programs. So One more. Is Barry still here?
He's
Still
gone to
here.
sleep. No kidding. He's waiting for the
Everybody
train.
still is everybody still asleep? This is
Yeah.
go ahead, Robert. What do you say on this one?
We got a problem, Barry. You see the value of this left-hand side and the right-hand side are competing, and between the two of them is shadow.
Yep.
Never a good thing.
Oh, okay.
And I tried to fix this one and I had a heck of a time. I was trying to do this and it didn't really work very well. I kind of warmed it up a little bit and then opened up. You know, you'd have to go back in and fix the moon, but the problem is it's just, and plus chopping off the side of all of this. I thought maybe if I took it like this, that's the biggest problem is the difference between these two sides are just too.
Okay, this was supposed to be like a day-night transition.
Yeah.
Day on the left, night with the moon on the right. but
Yeah, I
guess
mean,
it doesn't work.
but then what you should have done is, then it should have been like this. Much darker, much darker. Yeah, much darker. Then it would have been like one of those trick shots. So,
I think the shadow going straight down the 12 to 6 is-
That's not wrong. Then that's Lee Win.
Oh, that's Lee Win.
Oh, sorry.
But I was just going to say that, I really like the way the shadow just cuts down, noon to 6.
Yeah.
I just think that's a great effect, As a former clockmaker.
We had two brightness competing with each other.
And
The
I
brightness
understand.
on the
and I
left side,
agree.
brightness on the right side.
Yeah.
I agree. I just like the concept that it's cutting the clock right down the middle.
And let's just say hypothetically that is the case, that if he wanted this, then I'd need more room on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it needs to be like equal on both sides. So you could see the finial over here as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you're comparing the two to each other.
Yeah, this is very, very much cropped, so I had plenty of space on all the sides.
Yeah, I would try widening it out, Barry, and then straightening it because it's crooked as well. And then, that way you're showing, the daylight sky and then, the night sky basically is what you're trying to do here.
And,
Okay.
And 7 minutes earlier too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I was there when I was there and
Yeah.
Get what you
Barry,
get.
I have to ask this. Were you a DJ at some point?
No. No.
You got a DJ voice.
I already claimed him. He's mine. That voice is mine.
Well, we had a lot of great images tonight, guys, for our
Yeah.
last time of the year. So it was awesome and great. I'm glad everybody stuck around now that it's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going to dinner.
Yeah. So we'll see everybody at the Christmas party.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, everybody have a great Thanksgiving, a safe Thanksgiving, and get out there and shoot some pictures when you got time, guys. Just keep on shooting. You never
Thanks a
know
lot.
what we're going to be assigning you next year.
Happy turkey.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a nice holiday. Take care.
Great
You too.
session. Thank you. Okay.
Hey,